power that it has is just a lot of fun. Oh, that moved you. Welcome to the channel. I wanted to go over a quick 6,000 mile Tesla Model 3 update and review. So I bought my car in late of October 2019. It is a 2019 VIN. It's a Model 3 all-wheel drive, long range, and it's pearl white. It gets about 310 miles of range. When I bought the car, it came with just a couple of software versions back. It was version 9.0. Owning this car for the last 6,000 miles has been a treat. It's just really great car. It makes your daily driving so much easier. My 30-mile each way commute is just simple. I don't think about the traffic too much anymore. Of course, you got the speed here. That's just so much fun, like this. I mean, it's just, yeah. The handling of the car is just amazing. It feels like a sports car. There goes the automatic windshield wiper blades that came in version 10 with some improvements, or actually a version after that. Autopilot, amazing. Autopilot is just makes driving in Columbia traffic so much easier. Drives itself. You don't have to pay attention as strenuously. Man, I wouldn't want to drive a car that didn't have autopilot again on my daily commutes. It just would make the commute so much worse. And I do not look forward to that. So hopefully I can keep this car for a very long time. Or if anything, upgrade it. What I'm calling an upgrade to the Tesla Cybertruck or something like that. But the autopilot, the supercharging network, just makes driving an electric car real simple. The quietness of driving it is another real nice thing here. You know, you don't have, when you hit the gas, this loud engine sound, which I used to love that. And I still do in some ways, but quite frankly, it's just nicer to be quiet about it. I mean, it goes. See, like right now I'm going 49, right? And I mean, I'm at 80. Okay, so I don't see anything, so let's say it pushes you back. The pin's rolling in the back. It's a roundabout. Don't think I could get this car out of whack though, even though. Ooh, you can feel it sliding a little bit. It wants to slide a little bit, but not much. A little bit of sliding. Alright, so we're going to come to a stop. I'm just going to take off and watch my face. Alright, I'm stopped. The ground's kind of wet. That was 0 to 60. But we'll slow it back down to 40. Do the same thing again, and I mean, it pushes your head back. We're at 70 miles per hour in like no time. See how much it does it when I'm going 20. And slow down to 20 now. Yeah, see, it's like right at around the 30 mile per hour. You can feel it's almost like there is a little bit of a rated torque for the horsepower, and it's right around 40 miles per hour. Like, well, we'll get it. Maybe it's 35 to 40 miles per hour is where this sucker really, you feel it pulls your insides backwards, and you just feel this like a roller coaster ride feeling. This ain't even the performance. This is just the standard, or the long-range all-wheel drive dual motor. So you have that induction motor, and it gets you, makes your stomach drop a little bit when you first take off. That never gets old. Never gets old. You do start to get used to it, but it does not get old. So let's talk about maintenance for this car. Maintenance so far, man, it's been a burden. It's been so much. 6,000 miles. I had to maintenance my car 0 times. Not once have I had to do anything. Will I have to do much maintenance? No, not really. I think it says every 2 years you're supposed to have your brakes greased or something like that. You have to add windshield wiper fluid. Oh, man. I tell you what, I'm going to have to get out the manual to figure out how to do that one. You have to rotate your tires. That one is a little more tricky for me because I don't have a flat driveway. Makes it difficult to do anything where it requires jacking up the car. So more than likely I will have that done. Gives me an excuse to go to Charlotte anyways, which I like to do. And then brakes. The regenerative braking, I barely touched the brakes. So I shouldn't have to replace the brakes at least 100,000 miles. Probably much more than that. People were saying that it goes a lot longer than that. So we will see. Another good thing about this car, it doesn't get brake dust all over the wheels. All over the front wheels does not get the brake dust from the brake rotors wearing and brake pads wearing out because it doesn't use the brakes very often. It has regen braking. So next, let's talk about what are all the updates that I've gotten since owning the car. There's been a lot of updates. The car keeps getting new. Every time there's an update for, say, a newer version or the 2020 model, my car gets that same update, and it's like having a brand new car. And they seem to come out about every month, and most of them are pretty significant updates. So let's take a look at those and let me know what you think of them. So in version 9.0, what you're going to get is things such as tune-in radio came standard, slacker radio, FM radio already was updated to the car, which it wasn't previously, and then of course your phone. Also came with things such as beach buggy racing for a video game. It didn't come with it came with Atari type games, and then it also had a standard dash cam where you actually the front forward camera would record if you had an accident or something like that. Version 10 was the next software update. Came with things like karaoke or karaoke. It came updated with Spotify as well, which is a really good addition. It also had some video game updates added as well. It had things such as Cuphead, some other games where they added a few more Atari games, as you can see here. You also got things added such as Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, and Tesla tutorials into the app screen. You also got dashcam where you got multiple cameras, and you got up to 4 cameras, 2 side cameras, front and rear camera as well added in that version 10. The next update was going to be 19.36, so it's still technically version 10. What came with that is we're going to get an updated driver visualization. You're going to get this new mode called stopping mode. It's where basically you can just let off the gas pedal, and the car will automatically start applying the brake when you start coming to a stop. And that is really amazing. It's basically one-footed driving. You hardly ever touch the brakes. There's also, you got the new visualization. As you can see, you got the cones. You've got multiple lanes. you've got where it actually sees stoplights, stop signs, and even trash cans, which is really fun on trash day. It also gave us things like scheduled departure, where you told your car what time you leave for work and or what time you're leaving for a trip, and it will automatically charge the car, warm it up for you, and make sure the battery's warm for when you leave at that time. The best thing they added in this update was you got 5% increase in power. Man, that's fun. Next update was going to be 19.40.50. You got camping mode, which is being shown here on the screen, where you can actually leave your car and things like that. You got enhanced voice controls, where you actually can voice command, searching for Google and things like that. Got new games such as Stardew Valley on the screen. You got a new app called Tracks, which is a music recording app. It's actually turned out to be pretty fun as well. You can add things. Okay, so we covered the basics, such as is the car fun. We covered maintenance. We covered all the different updates that I've gotten since I've owned the car, right? And so one thing we haven't covered is the day-to-day driving and charging. So far, after 6,000 miles, I think that driving an electric vehicle, if you have a 220-volt charger at your house, a NEMA 1450 plug, similar to a dryer outlet, anything with 220 volts to it. If you have that outlet to where you can plug in your car every night when you get home, kind of like you would your cell phone, it's way easier than dealing with a gasoline car. You never wake up thinking, oh, I got to stop at the gas station before I go to work. You always have a full tank of gas or full tank of energy. And so you charge from 20%, or you try to keep it between 20% and 80% to make the life of the battery longer. So, you got 260 miles every single morning of range that you can drive. That covers pretty much anything that's going to pop up. So in that respect, I think it's actually easier. I don't have to go get gas early in the morning when it's cold, or when I'm in a rush to get home after work. I don't have to go stop by the gas station. And because Tesla has superchargers everywhere, it makes traveling easy, and it's actually kind of fun to stop at the superchargers, watch a YouTube video or whatever, go and check out my video on supercharging, how easy it is. So real quick, what are the downsides? Been pretty positive about this car so far. So I would say the downsides of this car are pretty much just the fact that there is no service center around me here in Columbia, South Carolina. The closest one is in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's actually about an hour and a half drive to get to the dealership. That would probably be the only downside, is the fact that you can't buy this car in my state, and the fact that you cannot go to a service center close to me. Everything else, this car and this car company, is absolutely phenomenal. They're changing the game. My conclusion is that I'm extremely happy. Yes, it's only 6,000 miles. I've never even bought a car with 6,000 miles on it. The lowest mileage that I've ever bought a car was 38,000 miles. I can't wait to keep updating you guys as I get more into my ownership of my Tesla Model 3. Thanks a lot. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. The liking of the video and the subscribing really helps the channel out a lot. And hit that notification button as well. That way you can see when I do new videos. And leave a comment if you got any questions or suggestions in the comments down below. And we'll see you next time. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.